Hello people! Today I'm going to be doing my review for How to Train Your Dragon 3: The Hidden World. I'm ready. I got my tea because this is gonna be probably a long video because I have a lot to talk about. Frankie is ready too. He's gonna be my partner in this video, and yeah, let's just start talking about it. The first part of this video is going to be non-spoilery, so if you haven't seen the movie, don't worry, I won't spoil anything. And then after that, I'll move into the spoilery section of the video for all of you who have watched the movie and just want to hear me talk about all the spoilery things that happen that I just need to talk about because oh my god! I watched the movie a few days ago. I've seen it twice now, and oh man, it was good! Hold on, okay? I need to check my notes because I made a lot of notes. So, How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. How is it? I think if you're a How to Train Your Dragon fan, you're gonna love this movie. I really do think so. I think most How to Train Your Dragon fans are gonna be really pleased with this. It's got all of the elements that all the previous movies had. It's got really good humor. It's got really good heart as well. The animation is insanely good. Like, I was just in awe when I was watching it. There's this one scene, I'm not gonna spoil it, but there's this one scene that's really windy. It's just, their hair is just blowing in the wind so beautifully. Like, I was just staring at their hair the entire time, especially Astrid. Astrid's hair is beautiful. Like, honestly, the hair department needs to get like an award or something because beautiful animation. With the How to Train Your Dragon movies, you can tell every movie's animation is just so much better than the previous one. Also, the way they animated Toothless, especially when he's interacting with other dragons, the way Toothless moves is so natural, from like how his body moves to his facial expressions. They're not cartoony at all. They're so natural, and this was the case with all the How to Train Your Dragon movies, but there's just a lot of really good examples in this movie that really showcase how brilliant the animation of dragons is. I loved seeing that because it's like, it makes it more realistic. It makes the whole dragon world feel like a real thing. Great. The villain in this movie was a lot scarier than I thought he was gonna be. Like, I wasn't that impressed with him from the trailers, but oh my god, he's scary. This movie, I will say, is a lot scarier than the other two. Like, there are some scenes that had me like wincing and like ew, like just terrifying stuff that happens that I was kind of like surprised by. I didn't think they were gonna like go that far. If you've watched the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's great though. Like, it makes him feel more like a threat. It made it really feel like, oh my god, this guy means business. But yeah, it does make me wonder whether children are gonna be like crying in the cinema and like running out of the cinema. I don't know. So just a little bit of a warning, maybe? I don't know, maybe I'm just a baby. Let me know in the comments what you thought. It's also really funny. The movie has so many little like subplots with all the characters that we've come to love. If you can hear a bird in the background, that's because there's birds here. But you know, it's nature, it's fine. We love birds. There's a bunch of little subplots with all the characters that we've come to know and love, which is really nice. All of them are hilarious. So, you know, I told you it was really scary, but like it's not like dark all the way. It's like really funny as well. I loved how all the characters have kind of come into themselves as, you know, young adults. Although this does bring me to a little point of criticism that I have. It's no real big deal. I felt like the movie was trying to squeeze in a little bit too many, you know, lighthearted, funny plot lines. Probably because they wanted to balance out how sad of a story this movie really is. But I feel like the balance was kind of thrown off a little bit. There were so many funny, lighthearted little backstories going on that it took away a little bit from the real heart of the story. It took away from the gravity of the main plot a little bit, in my opinion. I really wonder what other people think about this. I don't know, because this is like, it's the last movie, it's the big finale. And it's like, yeah, I wish it would have hit a little harder. I don't know, I think the movie could have done with like another 15 minutes or so, because the movie wasn't that long, I think. They could have added in like another 10 to 15 minutes for sure. Because like I don't want them to take out any of the lighthearted parts of the movie, because I loved all of them. But you know, I just wanted more of the other stuff too, I guess. I don't know if this makes sense. I hope this makes sense. And then my last little point of criticism that I do also have is the pacing a little bit. I thought the movie just went so fast. And the first time I watched it, I thought maybe it's just because it's the first time I watched it. You know, it just kind of flew by. But then I watched it a second time and I thought the same thing. It's kind of like suddenly we were at the big boss battle and I was like, we're already at this is almost the end of the movie? I thought we just started. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about the pacing that's weird. Again, I think this movie could have been a little bit longer. Maybe they'll do like an extended version on the DVD release. I would really like that. DreamWorks, if you're watching, make an extended version, because I feel like some scenes were cut. So yeah, those are like the two only kind of negative things that I have to say. But overall, I have left the theater so happy, so satisfied. I think the way the series was wrapped up was really beautiful. The whole ending of this series that we've been loving for so many years is done really, really beautifully. I'm pretty sure if you're a fan of this movie, you are going to leave the theater in tears, but content as well. I really think so. I wouldn't change a thing about how they ended it. I really wouldn't change a thing about it. It was really, so beautiful. Yeah, I think How to Train Your Dragon fans definitely shouldn't worry. I think people are going to be very, very satisfied. I'd be surprised if people weren't. So yeah, all in all, very, very pleased with the movie. I still don't know really how to score this, because I feel like it takes more time to be able to compare it to the other two. But if I have to give it a score now, I would give it a 9 out of 10. How to Train Your Dragon number 1, I would give 9.5 out of 10. How to Train Your Dragon 2, I would give 9 out of 10. And How to Train Your Dragon 3 would give 9 out of 10. So, you know, that's a pretty solid score. This is my favorite movie franchise of all time. So that's gonna be it for the non-spoilery part of this video. If you haven't seen the movie yet, click away now, because it's gonna get very spoilery up in here. I'm gonna be talking about all the details. So please watch the movie, go see the movie, and then come back to this video and just geek out with me. If you have seen the movie, let's talk. Oh my god, this movie, I just, where do I start? Okay, I wrote a huge list. The first thing I wrote down was Valka's hair color changed. I'm like, it changed color, didn't it? Her hair used to be like brown and now it's like reddish brown. I don't know why they did that. It seemed highly unnecessary, but okay. Toothless's interactions with the Light Fury are everything in the clearing, like, you know, like going in a circle around each other, and like just like the whole thing, just the way they interact, the looks they share together, the way their body moves, it was so fascinating. I felt like I was watching National Geographic or something. So well done. I love animals and I love watching like animal documentaries, animal videos, and like it was just so well done. And it's not just that, it's not just Toothless's interaction with the Light Fury, but also Toothless's interactions with Hiccup are so relatable. It's really exactly the same as like a person and their dog, for example. Like that moment, oh my god, that moment breaks my heart. The moment when Hiccup, I'm gonna start crying. I'm not crying in this video. The moment after Hiccup makes the new tail for Toothless, and he's telling Toothless to go to the Night Fury. Toothless goes, and then he looks back to Hiccup like, are you sure? Are you like, can I really do this? Are you sure? And Hiccup goes like, yeah, just go. That moment made me cry, because it's like, it's so accurate. Like, this is exactly what my dog does when I go walking with her in the woods. I'll take off her leash and be like, you're free, you can do your thing. And then she'll run, and then before she really goes off, she'll like look at me like, are you serious? Can I really do it? And it reminded me of that. It was so good. And then after Toothless is gone, you can see Hiccup kind of taking the hit of like, ooh, I'm alone, which like he hasn't had for years. That scene is just fantastic. Also, I mentioned this before, the hair department, stunning. When Hiccup and Astrid are sitting on the cliff and they're talking about how Gobber was saying they should get married and stuff, just, Astrid's hair was just so stunning. Love how it was just blowing in the wind. Also, their dragon rider suits are so cool. I wish I was better at making cosplays because I would love to make a cosplay of something like that. I probably wouldn't be able to do Astrid because I have like a really long face, and we all know who else has a long face. I'm pretty sure that's the type of cosplay I would have to do. Which honestly, Ruffnut is like my girl. I love her. I love that she had her time to shine when she was just like in the jail cell, annoying the crap out of the bad guy. That was legit so funny. I love how powerful she is. Like, she's so stupid, but like it makes her powerful. Like, that was great. There's a couple times in the movies where she does this pose where she like sticks her hip out and she's like those moments were amazing. I love her. And then of course the other little side stories. I love Toughnut being like crying to my beautiful beard. That was great. I love how Snotlout and Arid have this thing. Well, Snotlout had, well, Slotlout. Snotlout is really hard to say. Snotlout has this like rivalry with Arid, and Arid just doesn't give a crap. Great. Ooh, then the villain. It wasn't that the villain was super scary. I mean, he was kind of scary. I'm not a big fan of his character design per se. I don't know what it is about it that I didn't like, but I wasn't a big fan of his character design. I didn't think he was that scary, but those dragons of his, I don't think their names were mentioned, like what kind of a dragon it is, but they're disgusting. It's like they took every single thing that could possibly be disgusting and put it all on one dragon. Like, they have the protruding teeth like that. They have so much saliva coming out of them. They have the like slanty eyes that look super evil. And then they have this stinger like a scorpion. That's super gross. Ooh, and then they have like, instead of like paws, they have like they look kind of like deformed. Why? Who made the decision to make them this gross? It's like they had a dragon and they were like, no, make it grosser. And then they added a stinger on him, and then it's like, no, make it grosser. And then they added the like strange paws. It's like, no, make it grosser. And then they made them spew acid, and it's just like, disgusting! Oh, I'm like not over it. Like, these things are nightmare fuel. Could you imagine seeing that thing in real life? I cannot. Ooh, I'm not over it. I'm not over it. And like the amount of acid that spews out of them, it kind of looks like they're barfing it up, and it, gross. Gross. But of course, that did make everything a lot scarier. For example, when they're in Hiccup's house and like suddenly they come in from above and like the whole roof starts to melt open with like acid pouring down. Like, that was terrifying. Freaking terrifying, man. This is a kid's movie. Anyways, I could go on about those things forever. I am traumatized. Also, there was a lot of saliva in this movie, I noticed. Maybe they found like a really good way to animate saliva, so they decided to just put saliva everywhere. Like those scary dragons, they have a lot of saliva. But also Toothless's saliva was just very prominent in the movie, and I was just like, oop, there it is. I mean, it looked great. Great saliva animation. Good job, guys. Let's see, what else did I write down? Oh yeah, there was one thing I kind of missed in the movie. We didn't have that kind of scene of just Hiccup and Toothless riding through the sky together. You know, like in the second movie, we had Hiccup and Toothless riding in the beginning of the movie with like the Johnsy song playing. I kind of missed that. I wish we had like a moment like that. You know, because in the first one, we had like the scene where Hiccup learns to ride Toothless, and then, you know, when he suddenly like manages to fly Toothless properly for the first time. And in the second one, we had the, you know, in the beginning of the movie with the Johnsy song. In this one, I was like waiting for it. I was waiting for like a good, adventurous dragon riding scene with like some cool tricks and stuff, but it just never came, and I was a little sad about that. Although, I guess you could say that the last scene of the movie was kind of that, which we'll get into that scene later because, ooh, good scene. But yeah, I kind of wish there would have been a scene like that in the beginning of the movie. That would have been fun. Mostly because I really love the way these movies make flying feel real. Like, whenever there's a scene where they're like flying on their dragons, it's like the way they shoot it or the way they animate it is just, it makes it feel so real. Like you can almost feel the adrenaline rushing through your own body when you watch them ride dragons. It's really, really well done. And so I just wanted more of that. Oh yeah, another little side story. The thing with the bad luck, Gobber and the little dragons that bring bad luck. I really thought that was gonna lead somewhere. I thought that was gonna lead to like something important. And it kind of led somewhere. Like, in the end they helped him. I don't know, I thought it was gonna lead to something bigger and then it didn't. And I was kind of let down by that. It's like they built it up a little bit too much or something. I don't know. Also, Hiccup and Astrid were so cute in this movie. I love how supportive they are of each other. How Astrid immediately backs Hiccup up in front of the others. I love the scene where Hiccup is making Toothless's new tail and Astrid just kind of like leans on the table and looks over at him, and you can just tell she really loves him and cares about him, and I love them together. And I was never that big of a Hiccup and Astrid shipper or anything like that. They're good together, sure, but that's not really the thing I love about this movie. Is like, I'm all about, Hiccup and Toothless, best friends for life. That's why I love these movies. But in this movie, I really just I saw how Hiccup and Astrid were so beautiful together. Like the scene on the cliffs where they're kind of like messing around, and then the wedding, Astrid's hair at the wedding again. I'm obsessed with Astrid's hair. She looks so beautiful. And he looked so handsome, and it's just so beautiful. Yeah, I have no words. I love them. Oh, and I almost forgot, there's the conversation that Hiccup and Astrid have when Hiccup feels completely lost, and Astrid kind of, don't start crying. Astrid kind of tells him like, I never told you this, but I'm the person who I am today because of you, and I'm fine. She makes him realize that he was strong before Toothless, and that he can stand on his own. I'm fine. I am fine. And then she says, what are you gonna do about it? Just like the first movie. It was so good. I thought that was so beautiful. That's another thing these movies are so good at. Not continuity. Parallels. That's what it is. These movies have so many parallels throughout their own movie, but throughout the whole franchise as well. How you have the This Is Burke thing. They say This Is Burke a lot in the movie, especially in the beginning. Like every couple scenes it'd be like, this is Burke, this is Burke, this is Burke. Which is sad because they don't live at Burke anymore. I wonder what the new place is called. Yeah, they never said what it's called. I hope they reveal that because I need to know. Anyways, yeah, parallels. How in the first movie it was like Astrid being like, this is for this and this is for everything else, or the This Is Burke thing, or the what are you gonna do about it thing. I love those parallels. It's really satisfying. Oh, and another thing, I'm just jumping from one thing to the other because I have no coherent thoughts, but the flashbacks of Hiccup and Stoic. Baby Hiccup was the cutest thing I've ever seen, but mostly it was just emotional to see Stoic again. Stoic is probably my favorite character in the whole series, aside from Hiccup and Toothless and stuff. That's kind of they're the main characters, but I freaking love Stoic. His character arc just wonderful. I love him as a character. Yeah, those flashbacks really made me cry, especially the one where Hiccup goes down the stairs and he finds his dad crying. When I saw Stoic cry, I started crying. I was like, no, don't cry. He's had a hard life. Excuse you, can you stop? Those flashbacks were so necessary to me. If Stoic hadn't been present in this movie at all, it would have been, not right. So I'm really glad that they added in those little flashbacks. We needed Stoic. So thank you, DreamWorks. Thank you. The words, our world doesn't deserve dragons, not yet. That is just such an accurate quote. It also reminded me of us humans and animals. Honestly, we don't deserve animals either. We abuse and mistreat animals all over the world every single day. We don't deserve animals either. Honestly, that's what, so when he said those words, I was like, preach. Humans never learn. That's really sad. Ooh, then about the Light Fury, I'm a little bit confused about her character design. Why is she so glittery? I thought she was gonna be glittery because, you know, she can refract light, or however you say that. You know, like she can become invisible and camouflage herself. And I figured that that was why she was kind of glittery. But in the movie, after a while, kind of Toothless learns how to do the same thing with like the lightning stuff, and then he can like and kind of disappear for a little bit. So like that made me think, well, what's the point of her being so glittery? I don't know, maybe I'm thinking about it too much. But you know, they're the same species, but they look so different, not just in color but in texture, the shape of their backs and tails and just face. Like everything is different about them, and I want more information on that. I'm a nerd for that kind of stuff. Like I need to know the details of all the dragon species. I'm literally fish legs. Oh my god, I just realized that. I'm fish legs. Hi, my name is Fish Legs. Anyways, the hidden world looks beautiful. I love the scene where all the other dragons bow down to Toothless. Oh, that was so beautiful. And you can just like see Toothless being all proud. That was a proud moment. The ending big battle scene, I said it before, like with the pacing and stuff, I was always so surprised when the big battle at the end was happening, because I was like, oh, we're already there. And I felt like it just went so fast. I love the fighting scenes though. They were really, really well done. I loved Hiccup and Astrid having their little moment on the boat. It reminded me of Pirates of the Caribbean, where Will Turner and Elizabeth Swann proposed to each other. I thought they were going to propose at that time, but then that didn't happen. But that was really cute. Oh, and then when, you know what I'm gonna say, the climax when no, I'm fine. The part where Hiccup is hanging from the Light Fury and Toothless is falling and Hiccup says save him, and he just drops to the ground. Like we knew the words save him from the trailer. I knew that was coming, but I didn't think he was gonna like let go and fall to his death. For a split second I was like, oop, well Hiccup's gonna die, which like he's the main character, he probably wouldn't have died. I should have known that, but like my heart my heart could not take that. And then when she saved both of them, I was like, yes, that was really well done. That was really, 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 really well done. Then it was time to say goodbye. Oh, one thing about the saying goodbye scene, Toothless and Hiccup have their goodbye, which is really, really heartbreaking. The way that was done was really beautiful. What I was surprised at was how all the other Vikings kind of just went along with it quite easily. Like everyone was just like, yeah, okay, and like take off the saddle and be like goodbye. And it's like all of these people have really close bonds with their dragons. I wish I would have seen them be a little more upset about it, or maybe someone protesting and Hiccup having to explain why this was necessary, because I felt like all the Vikings were just like, yeah, okay, let's get rid of all the dragons. I don't know. I was a little confused as to how easy that transformation went from being like, we have to protect our dragons, to we have to release our dragons. With Hiccup and Toothless, it was obvious. You had like that moment in you know the transformation because they're the main characters, but all these other people, they also had dragons they loved, and I was just kind of like, why are they just okay with this? Like if that was me, if I was a Viking in that group, I would have been like, excuse you, hell no, I'm not leaving my dragon, it's my dragon, you know what I mean? So I get that, like, because it's a movie and like maybe they didn't want to take it there because it wouldn't have been like smooth or whatever, but like I don't care. To me it seemed a little bit weird. That seemed a little bit weird, but I'll let it slide because the Hiccup and Toothless's goodbye was really, really beautiful. And then lastly, I want to talk about the last scene of the movie, which is my favorite scene of the movie. Let's be real. Oh my god, it destroyed me. Just thinking about it makes me cry. Hiccup has a beard and a family. Astrid and Hiccup are, like a full-fledged family, and I can just imagine it so well, and their kids are so cute. And I loved how it was just the four of them on a boat going on a little expedition together. And I love that it's being narrated with, Hiccup saying there were dragons. dang it, I wasn't gonna cry. You know, when he explains there were dragons to his children, I love that, like, you know, that it's like passed down to the next generation. The image of when the camera pans to the misty waterfall area and Toothless and the Light Fury are sitting there, when Toothless just like looks up, oh, it's so good. And then the fact that Toothless had a little bit of a wildness to him again, he didn't instantly recognize Hiccup and he didn't instantly act the way he used to. He was really on the fence and, you know, like a wild animal again, and I just love that. And then when Toothless recognizes him, oh, it's so beautiful. And how the children are really scared at first. Again, the parallels. They have that exact moment that Hiccup had as well when they were reaching out their hands and like not even daring to look really. Toothless, just like in the first movie, putting his snout to their hands. That was so beautiful. And I was talking to my brother about the scene and he said that the scene should have ended there because that would have been such a beautiful end screen, like to end it on like the, you know, snout to hand moment. I think I agree, that would have been really beautiful. But to have that flying scene, because you know how I love the flying scenes. I love that, like, you know, Hiccup's like flying on Toothless again through the clouds and his children are with him. He throws his child up into the air in the sky on a dragon. Very irresponsible. I was just like, no, Hiccup. That's just dangerous. But aside from that, oh man, could you imagine if Hiccup was your dad and you could do that? Like, that's cool. And with the beautiful music playing again, like that kind of a scene to me is How to Train Your Dragon. Man and dragon riding together through the skies on a John Z song. That is the epitome of How to Train Your Dragon for me. And it was really beautiful to end it on that. It was really like an all was well moment. It was really like, oh, everything's gonna be okay, you know, they can still visit each other. They each have their own families because Light Fury, Night Fury, babies are a thing and really cute. I thought the ending was perfect. I thought it was absolutely perfect. Wouldn't change it for the world. And then the credits come and it's all of these scenes from the first movie of Hiccup and Toothless, and it goes to the second movie and the third, and oh, and I'm just crying and crying and crying. It's, yeah, I wish I could see it again. I've seen it twice, but now I'm like, I should have seen it 3 times because I won't be able to see it again until like, I don't know, a long time. So now I'm just like on Tumblr liking every single thing How to Train Your Dragon because that's all I have now. I think that's all I have to say. Probably once I stop filming, I'm gonna think of like a million other things that I wanted to talk about, but this video is long enough as it is, so I think I'm gonna wrap it up. Please let me know what you thought of the movie. Don't put any spoilers in the comments though, please, because maybe some people haven't seen it yet, but do tell me what you thought, and you can be like cryptic about it, be like, that one scene, talk about it that way, but just don't put any like real spoilers. I want to talk about it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you could kind of geek out with me, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.